Good morning, everybody. This is Daniel Erwin. I'm CEO and founder of Carolina Ballistics and Training Academy. Today we have a special host. We have a Mr. Donte Donnell. All right, he's a firearm instructor here in the Triad area and a good friend of mine. Dante, welcome to the show.
Yo, what's going on, Daniel?
Yeah, all right, man. Today we got an interesting topic today. The subject is African Americans and the 2A community. Before we start the conversation, Dante, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Cool, okay. Of course, Dante Donnell, licensed clinical mental health counselor, also a licensed clinical addiction specialist. And I guess the other side that brings me into the conversation is certified pistol, certified rifle instructor, and North Carolina concealed carry handgun instructor as well. And a big advocate for Second Amendment rights.
All right, awesome. Of course, me and you've known each other for a while now, and we've had an assortment of experiences, especially being black men, not only just owning firearms, but owning firearm organizations in our own respective right. And I know you have had a couple experiences. Can you name us a couple of experiences, good and bad, in being an African American and owning firearms? Let's start off with that part, just owning firearms.
Owning firearms, I guess the earliest one I would date back to just not owning but possession of being a minor and having a firearm in school. It dates back to there. 7th grade, with gaining access and having possession while in school. After that, for me, my first firearm I got around age 21. Definitely before I got it, I did not take a formal education class. My education came from watching some gangster movies. So I'm sure maybe even when I went to the range first time, I probably held the gun sideways and shot. But immediately after that, I got my concealed carry, where I heard of shooting safe gun handling, but I don't even remember practicing them and having it demonstrated in the class. It was like it was said. And for me, I think that was more so the demographics of the class I was in. I was the only black person in that concealed carry class, and my assumption was he felt that they understood it, or we understood it. So it was definitely not driven, because I think it was already expected that everyone got it or seen a video of some sort.
All right, good points there. There's a lot we can take there, but I think one of the questions, especially on the subject of minorities owning firearms, how would you say it's been received? You carrying a firearm. I know that you're either concealed carrying or open carrying. First, let's answer that question. Which form of carrying do you prefer?
It's all in purpose. For me, I definitely prefer concealed carry. I love my element of surprise. I don't think it's the public's business to know what I have on me. I do sometimes get the urge for attention seeking from an advertisement perspective, to walk around like you, open carry, with my logo on my shirt, and of course, oftentimes a firearm draws attention.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't want the negative side of it, but it does make people see the firearm and see my shirt, and hopefully it's a conversation for me.
Absolutely. So, in the state of North Carolina, we are an open carry state. Has the attention been positive when you're carrying or negative when you're carrying? How does the community react to you carrying a firearm?
Okay. For me, 99% of my wardrobe is with my company logo, Sharpshooters Tactical Solutions, and it's a silhouette of my wife and myself. And I threw away all my polos. I was a big collector of polos, and I threw away all my polos. And literally, if it's not a t-shirt, it's a hoodie or some sort with my brand on it, and that's what I promote. That shirt alone catches a lot of people's eyes, and oftentimes I have to remind myself of that's probably why I'm getting these looks. I get it more so from the African American community than others, but it draws attention itself. My everyday carry is pretty much concealed to the point that I don't even think I'm having any printing with it because I got used to it. But I think that when people see my logo on my shirt, I get a lot of looks that I perceive to be, why are they having guns in their hands? But it's also, that's y'all. I seen you on Facebook.
Yeah.
You got a card. I'm coming to a class.
Yeah.
I follow you on your Instagram, and it surprises me almost like a level of the celebrity in the city. When people walking through Walmart and they say, "Sharpshooters, man, I'm in y'all Facebook group, man.
Yeah.
I took a class. You remember me?" I get that quite often.
Wow. If you're just tuning in, my name is Daniel Erwin. This is Carolina Ballistics and Training Academy show. We're talking to Mr. Donte Donnell about the African American experience and the 2A community. We've had some really good points in connection with ownership, and now we're going to talk from a business aspect. Also, like and subscribe on our Facebook at Carolina Ballistics and Training Academy. Follow us on TikTok at Carolina Ballistics TALLC and Carolina Ballistics TALLC on Instagram. So continuing the conversation, being an African American, owning a firearm group, there's a lot of different ways we can take this conversation. One big thing that people are concerned about in connection with African Americans and firearm ownership is the negative connotation from the movies and the media that they may see. One big point that was brought to me is that, African Americans are out here dying literally by the droves to gun violence. Do you think that has had an impression on you, and how did it affect you in developing your business and organization?
I will start and say, no, I don't feel that the next person's actions really directly affected me. Indirectly, yes. People's perception from television and social media does become their reality. But the beautiful part of it is they do have a prejudgment, but once they see the demonstration and how I carry myself, how my wife carries herself, how we conduct ourselves in a class, it's debunked.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty in it. But I've had several experiences where even I know I'm a safe gun handler where It may have been, I guess, the vision of whatever range safety officer is not 2020 and may have not even understood safe gun handling himself and have approached me at ranges as if I may have not handled a firearm properly.
So one of the big things that I have always admired in connection with you and your organization is you guys are a firearm organization, and you teach anybody, but you do very well at marketing to minorities, African Americans, particularly African American women. What got you started in that direction?
First, I'll say, okay, I'll address your question and then I'll wrap it around. The lack of a presence. I think before I started, I only seen one black female within the area, and I didn't reach out to her. I like to do research and find out everything on my own, but
For sure.
one was definitely not enough.
For sure.
To be able to reach all of black people within Guilford County. So that played a major role. Just the feelings from not feeling accepted and not having the resources. For me, it's let's be solutionary and become a part of the answer and not sit back and gripe and complain.
Sure.
I wanted to do some cool tactical stuff. I ain't down in Fayetteville area where it's a little more accessible.
Yeah.
Like, let me learn it so at least I can have some training for myself and
Sure.
maybe bring some others along with me. So, like, when I met you, first thing I said is, yo, what I say? Man, let's get let's link up so some other people in my area can get the training as well.
Yeah.
And that's been the main part.
For sure.
The second part, the question was, you said, what was the question again?
In connection, so the question that I posed was being a firearm owner.
Who do I target?
And your target, absolutely, target audience.
Yeah, I would not say within my our Facebook group, Sharpshooters Talk Second Amendment, there is a strong urge, especially for women, to become a part of that extended support. It's a support group.
For sure.
It's not therapy. It's not training. It's literally a support group where everybody is an equal within the group.
Yeah.
As far as taking a class, and I also refer everyone who takes a class to us. Within my class, I pull up our Facebook group and say, this is extended support for you.
Yeah.
Preferably for you. This was made for the people who took my class outside of here without having to call my phone or email. And you can post in this group and get not just my response, but also other instructors like you and common people.
Yeah.
But my doors are open to anyone who is willing to spend money. And I prefer women because they often are a lot more teachable.
Yeah.
And they haven't been trained in a wrong way most of the time.
One thing that I really admire in connection with that group is that it's firearms within black people have been villainized over the years, and a lot of it evolves around the negative connotation in connection with black people owning guns. You know what I'm saying? But that group really sheds light on the subject. And when there's fear, often communication is often the answer. And I think that your group does really well. Let the people know what that Facebook group is called again. Yeah,
the group is Sharpshooters with the Z at the end. One word, Sharpshooters Talk Second Amendment. And it's a private group. I screen everyone. I'm okay with anyone joining who is with being a part of the 2A community, as long as, and one of the questions is, you respect the rights of black people and people of color to own firearms. That's brilliant. That's a big part of it.
That's brilliant.
And it's a million groups. The goal is to be intentional on putting that, because unintentionally we look at a magazine and you're going to see 99% everybody else.
Absolutely.
You have to be intentional to find a picture of, other than Glock and Magpul.
Yeah, and big shout out to Big Daddy Unlimited, and shout out to Daniel Defense. Yeah. They I don't know if y'all know the Sister Survival Group, but they love them.
Yeah, Big Daddy Unlimited.
Yes. Yes.
Yo, Big Daddy Unlimited, really? Well, I ain't gonna say that got on, but even with Black Rambo, they definitely Black Rambo, he's heavily supported by him, and I ain't here to brand all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. So my main point is I'm trying to be I'm intentional on making sure that you know that this is where it is, and if you don't recognize where Black people are within the 2A community, you won't respect a lot of the views from this population. It's not the group for you. It's not for everybody. If you're super well versed and you got a whole closet of Daniel defenses and of that caliber, there's a great Palmetto State Armory group for you. I put that in the room. There's a ton of other groups, but if you can't be passionate, compassionate, and understanding, Sharpshooters Talk Second Amendment is just not the groups for you.
If you're just tuning in, this is Carolina Ballistics and Training Academy. My name is Daniel Erwin. We've been talking on a plethora of subjects that pertains to African American and African American ownership in connection with the 2A community. We're also two firearm organizations trying to inform the public in connection with firearms. Follow me on Carolina Ballistics and Training Academy on Facebook. Follow me on TikTok at Carolina Ballistics TALLC, and follow me on Instagram, Carolina Ballistics TALLC. We're talking to Donte Donnell, owner of Sharpshooters Tactical
Solutions.
Yeah, Sharpshooters Tactical Solutions, absolutely.
And I say that because there is another sharpshooter within North Carolina. I appreciate them. They gave me some free radio exposure 1 week. I guess they ran an ad somewhere.
Yeah, people came to you.
People with me. I'm like, sharpshooters, y'all got the shooting range.
Wow.
It's like, y'all have heard your commercial on the radio. I'm like,
wow.
I didn't know my wife put radio airplay in the budget, man. We were just working free Facebook. It's been working. But,
for sure.
Yeah, Sharpshooters Tactical Solutions.
All right, so we talked about the ownership and the trajectory of your business. And I think the great thing about how our businesses kind of correlate with each other is that you target people who are brand new to the community, and I try my best to expose them to the totality of the community. One big push that I've been doing lately has been long range shooting and room clearing. And a lot of people believe that if they own a firearm, that is good enough. Were you about to comment on that?
Yeah, I want to clear up that misconception. And if I said it or came off that way, I don't believe that that's what I meant. I don't mean to try to make my target audience new shooters, because I believe more of the issue is not new shooters.
Yeah, for sure.
It's probably people who consider themselves experienced, just like myself. Before I took training classes, I went to the range once, twice, a couple times a month, had an addiction of probably 50 firearms.
Wow.
That didn't make me proficient.
Yeah.
Not just new shooters for us.
Yeah.
Experienced people who, quote unquote, consider themselves experienced.
Yeah.
Come get some training. Come get some education. You can learn something.
Anybody can learn anything.
Even going back to the basics with them, because as long as you've had guns, that doesn't mean you've been trained.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even on the military side, I myself as an infantryman with a little bit of experience myself, basically to become proficient is just running the basics over and over and over again. Right. And that level of repetition is what builds skill.
Right.
So under that theory, you can literally go anywhere and learn something from somebody, even if it's something as simple as like changing magazines. Right. You can't run that enough. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like I like to compare firearms training to basketball. You know, Michael Jordan probably trained 100 hours in the span of 2 days. You know what I'm saying? Or the span of a week. And a lot of it is...
I was about to say...
Wait a minute.
So only 24 hours a day, bro.
Right. He trains a
He did some Buzz Lightyear stuff right there, man.
He trains a lot of hours, what was that old saying about 10,000 hours makes you proficient?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that is just repeating the basics. You know what I'm saying? Like, you dribble a basketball 1,000,000 times, you're going to be pretty good at dribbling. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's really the same in connection with firearms as well. Theory. I wanted to ask you, and it's in connection with the history of African Americans in connection with firearm ownership. Have you ever wondered, or have you ever thought on, where did the negative connotation with African Americans and firearms originate from?
No, I didn't ever think on it because I understood it.
Yeah.
I don't think that it took a heavy thought on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the goal. It's It took. Black people have always owned guns. Harriet Tubman had a firearm on her hip.
Yeah.
Black soldiers have fought in every war.
Absolutely.
Fought on our soil, within helping establish America.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're new to it. Gun ownership, there's a history of it being stripped of us, and why would they strip it from us?
Mm-hmm.
The limitation was for a reason. I never really put thought into it because I'm conscious enough to recognize the smoke and the mirrors.
Yeah.
Where that restriction could be beneficial for any level of anyone restricting our rights. It's
for sure.
Rights. It was we had to fight for civil rights.
Yeah.
That's Second Amendment rights. The first our amendment, we didn't get the liberties at the same rate. So that was a part of it. And why, if they restricted it, it was probably something that they recognized could have made us even more free.
This is Carolina Ballistics and Training Academy. I'm Daniel Erwin, and we're talking to Dante Donnell of Sharpshooters Tactical Solution. If you're just tuning in, we've been talking on the subject of the history of the negative connotation with African Americans and firearm ownership. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you another question.
My fault, but you were saying a negative connotation.
Mm-hmm.
Who owns the negative connotation? Comes from where, and where? How is it perpetrated? Mm-hmm. It comes from Hollywood. Mm-hmm. A lot of it. Not saying that we don't see some kids in the hood of Chicago doing some reckless behavior. Actually, I could say one of the latest rap videos from one of them little colorful dreadhead kids from Chicago. Yeah. All of them got Glocks and FNs in their hands with sticks on them. Yeah. And I paused to observe. Yeah. At least in 2022, they all had good trigger discipline. I was like, they got firearm instructors on the set now. Yeah. They all, and it was I don't know what it was. They were intentional on, they were bobbing their head. They might make, like, what the heck they doing? But they
had good
discipline. But Hollywood played a role into it, and people see what they see on TV. If you go outside of America, they perceive us as, that's y'all. Yeah. But it's not just us. I don't like to even focus like, black people are the face of negative gun handling. Yeah. That's everywhere, Look at pictures. Yeah. If you look at social media, it's white people, Asian people, Mexicans.
All kinds of people.
Everybody's mishandling them.
I think me and my wife was looking at a movie like 2 nights ago, and I was just looking at the trigger discipline, flashing, muzzle. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it really is it's not like, I feel that a lot of people feel that it's strictly an African American problem, but it's really, you'll see it everywhere.
I think it's even worse because
Yeah.
Other races and ethnic groups have probably been exposed to
Yeah.
firearms safety, and they still doing it. Black people just came into
Yeah.
it, the realization we doing it. We been negligent, but we just came to going to a class.
Yeah.
So we're the accountability. It's been on them if they've been taking the classes.
Yeah.
Why are in those droves? If you want to place the actions of a few on a whole race of people, I don't think that's fair.
Now, softball question.
Yeah.
How important is firearm education and good firearm safety?
That's paramount. That's part of, for me, I find that to be before you even pick up a gun, before you touch a firearm, the safety is there. I'm so for safety. My view may go against most people in the 2A community where, I think it should be required. I appreciate it because if it, oftentimes in my classes, 2 out of 12 people are facing some legal charges, and somehow between a lawyer or a judge, they said, "Hey, I'm court ordered to be here." Yeah, which means they did something negligent or they broke some law. Mm-hmm. And if they did that, had they taken the class and been educated on the front end, would they have made that same mistake?
And that's an incredible statement you just made. I feel that a lot of people who own firearms believe that the system of owning firearms is complicated, so they don't go about owning firearms the right way. They go around about, and then they get themselves in trouble. You know what I'm saying? And it's just because of a lack of education in pertaining to it. Yeah. Firearm education is not that hard to perceive. No. And trust me, going about it the right way will save you a ton of pain and heartache.
Money. Yeah, I had a lady stop my family and I. We went to the park Friday evening, and she saw my shirt, recognized who I was. We had a conversation, and in the middle of it, she mentioned, "Hey, my husband, he left his firearm in the car. It was in the center console. Yeah. What should I have done?" First thing I say, you need to get in the class. I don't even want to give you too much.
Absolutely.
Invest.
Absolutely.
Because you're about to be paying a ticket, attorney.
Yep.
And, I let her, she was like, he forgot it. And I was like, she did not know that. She's like, police pulled me over and it's not my gun and it's somebody else's. I don't know what to do. Yeah. I was like, more than that, it was in a spot where you were going to get you charged. Exactly. And she lacked the knowledge of where to place it. She lacked the knowledge of knowing that this is open carry, and she would have been okay had she just had it visible. Yeah. And it could have easily been her pulled over, and then just like two out of the 12. Dealing with some legal issues.
And that's a really good point in connection with just understanding laws and not, I feel that a lot of people are afraid to get their conceal and carry because they're afraid that the government will be in their business, or they're afraid that they're exposing themselves too much, and it doesn't matter. The cops are just going to shoot them anyways. Listen, guys. The government already has your information. Yeah.
When I hear that, I just show my cell phone. Yeah. Man, literally, you have the ability, so the government has the ability to look and see where you moved at every point with your cell phone.
Absolutely. Do yourself a favor. If you want to conceal and carry, get a conceal and carry permit. It's no big deal. Mm-hmm. Take a class from Sharpshooter's Tactical Solution.
Hold on, man. You got to say that.
I'm sorry. Sharpshooter's Tactical Solution. I will not butcher that name.
And go on the website, store.sharpshooters Tactical Solutions, and purchase your next firearm and/or accessory.
Absolutely. It's no big deal. How much is that class that you sell for the conceal and carry?
Our concealed carry class is $115. Yeah. What's unique about our class is understanding our population who probably never got a firearm because they always had some level of fear or don't have the earwear, don't have the eyewear, we include everything you need for that $115. And unlike Netflix, we haven't went up since we started.
Wow.
$115, it gets you coffee. As soon as you come into class, It gets you coffee.
Wow.
The classroom time, the test.
Yeah.
It gets you lunch. It's included as well. Your silhouette that you will need to shoot to take the test. We provide electronic earwear. We provide the eyewear. And we provide great fun and entertainment at the same time. I understanding those barriers beforehand, and that what I just based on my assessment, what stopped people, tried to make it just a one-stop shop so that you don't have to worry about paying this fee and then right before class trying to run to Walmart and buy something to make sure you got it. Ammo is also included as well. The firearm usage is also included. So literally, only thing you have to do is go on sharpshooterstacticalsolutions.com, register, bring your ID, and come with some good smelling breath and a good time with your mask, and we will enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. All of us, including myself, we're all certified NRA instructors. We are accredited. We're reliable. So please come get training. You will it will benefit you. I want to leave with this last thought, and it's in connection with the why I choose to be a firearm owner, and we'll conclude with Dante Donnell's reason as well. I chose to be a firearm owner really out of love. Love for me is the greatest motivator. Love of family, love of property, love of community. Those are positive energy. So if you are a firearm owner, if you want to be a firearm owner, make sure that you are driven not by dark energy, but driven by light energy. What was the reasons why you became a firearm owner?
I mean, that was poetic, man. Mine not gonna be that great. I chose to become a firearm instructor or a firearms owner because I refuse to be a victim.
Yeah.
I've been victim, and not to own a firearm to redo what's already been done, but making sure that I'm prepared so that I can fulfill my responsibilities of raising my children, watching them graduate, get married, and have children as well. And it's my constitutional right. If I didn't have a reason, that the Second Amendment of having that right is good enough for me. But I definitely appreciate the sport of shooting a target, aligning sights, and seeing that, wow, even at close distance, or I ain't going to Daniel 300 and 400 meters, but even at 20 yards, being able to say, wow, I kept it within this 8-inch plate.
For sure.
That's therapeutic for me. That brings healing. That brings excitement. I'm able to be less stressed and be focusing on something positive for the rest of the day versus some of my regular stresses.
Sure. Well, that concludes our show, guys. Thank you, Dante, so much for giving us some insight on firearm ownership and being an instructor in the area. Dante, would you like to shout out some of your classes you have coming up?
Yeah, definitely. We do have, for the rest of the month and even September, we have several. Next week, well, actually this week on Saturday, we have a handguns fundamental class. That's co-ed, men and women. It's only a $60 class. You're being taught all at the range. It's a 2-hour class at the range, small group, to help you understand the fundamentals of shooting. We also have a concealed carry class on Sunday Sunday the 21st, where we do have available seats for that class if you like to get in. We have an intro to AR class as well. Make sure I get that date right for the intro, man. You got it up, man. I'm taking up extra time. I'm sorry. Yeah, we have the intro to AR on Sunday, August the 28th from 12 to 1:30, 2 o'clock. And that one is for ladies only. So ladies, even if you don't have an AR-15 platform, and it's not rifle, we did not say rifle, it's the platforms.
Awesome.
So it's pistols as well. We will provide the ammo and everything is included with that.
All right, Dante, shout out your Facebook and your website name.
Hold on, man. You cut me out. One last one. We got the Nra Basics of Pistol. That's August the 27th. That's an all-day class that Daniel and I both had to go through in order to get to where we are. That covers everything you need from safe handling to shooting fundamentals. My fault.
Dante, go ahead and shout out your Facebook and website name.
Facebook, Sharpshooters Tactical Solutions. The Facebook group, Sharpshooters Talk Second Amendment. Again, Donte Donnell, Sharpshooters Tactical Solutions.
Thank you again, Donte Donnell. This is Carolina Ballistics and Training Academy. I'm founder and CEO, Daniel Erwin. Follow us on TikTok at Carolina Ballistics TALLC. Follow us on Facebook at Carolina Ballistics and Training Academy. Follow us. Book your class for a women's only class on September 24th and 25th. Thank you so much for listening in, guys. Y'all be good.